You've been trying to learn a language for months, maybe even years, but you still can't understand or speak. Does this sound familiar? Well, if it's your case, I've got some news for you. First of all, it's not your fault. And second of all, you're not alone. There are millions of people in the same situation. It's not your fault because that's the way they've taught you. That's what you've been given. Yeah, most language learning apps, which is one of the most popular methods of language learning these days, are a waste of time, completely useless. The goal is to keep you addicted to the app, not for you to improve as fast as possible. Also, the school system, classes, language academies, I don't want to say that the goal is to keep you uh, to make you attend for as long as possible. Some of them might think like that. For the most part, though, they don't really know what they're doing. They themselves are incompetent at language learning. They've never learned a language well on their own. They don't really know much about language learning. They've been using extremely outdated and ineffective methods for decades, probably centuries now. So, yeah, it's not your fault, and there's also a solution. Yeah. So let's talk about what is the problem, or what the different kind of what you've been doing wrong till now, and then how to fix it. By the way, if you expect some feel good advice of find your why you're learning it, do find your motivation, blah blah, uh, that's not what you're going to hear. I'm going to give you the cold hard truth, right? Also, if you are one of those looking for the learn effortlessly the lazy way, this insanely lazy method to learn, no. This is going to be effective, efficient, fast. You'll get results, but you'll need hard work and discipline, right? So yeah, let's get started. So the first problem, no matter which method you're using, is lack of consistency. You need to be consistent to learn any kind of skill, right? Language is no different. A language is a skill. Language is not some magical thing we acquire naturally, this that. Yeah, ironic considering my language is my system's name, but yeah, a language, you have to learn it like any other skill. Yeah, and you can learn it with effective systems, or you can learn it with ineffective methods. So you need both an effective method and consistency. Even with an effective method, if you don't have consistency, if you're not consistent, you will not improve much. So there are two things that you should be doing here. If you're not consistent, it's because A, you don't have a plan, or B, probably both, you don't, you waste time. Yeah. You procrastinate, you just leave it for later and end up not doing it. I've been guilty of both, and I learned how to fix it. It's one of the main, probably the first and main problem that everyone has. Lack of consistency. You need to plan. You need a plan of a very clear, organized, well organized plan of daily, weekly goals, weekly, and we'll come to goals later. But um, weekly and daily to-do lists of everything you need to do, and you need to attack that list every single day. Plan when you're going to do it, and do it, right? And stop procrastinating. That's number one. Number two, again, using ineffective, well, even useless methods. Duolingo, apps like that, going to classes. Duolingo, ironically, is very good at keeping you consistent. They'll make sure that you stay consistent, but you'll be consistent at doing all the wrong things that give you no results. So, um, consistency with useless activities is, yeah, also not good. But you need both. You need both consistency and effective activities. Yeah, you need both. Effective. exercises inconsistently, no result. Ineffective exercises consistently, also no result. So apps like Duolingo, all the similar ones, and all the like watch videos to learn languages, and all the grammar books, all that. No, if you're using those, uh, you're not going to improve much. Okay, with with an exception. If you are one of those people who are super disciplined and you go to language classes a couple of times a week, and you have grammar books, and you actually do all the grammar exercises over and over and over again, which most people just hate to do, but if you do this, you will improve. It's not going to be as effective as other things you should be doing or you could be doing, but still, the traditional system will work somewhat and long term if you are super consistent and work really hard every day, right? But again, not as effectively as other things. Next, lack of goals, lack of planning, lack of tracking. Again, you need to learn deliberately, not casually. If you don't have a plan and you don't have goals for the week and the day, I'm not talking months and years, goals for the week and the day. I'm going to learn this many sentences and words this week. And then you do the math, you divide it, that those 1,000 words or whatever you want to learn in 5 or 7 days, depending on how many days you want to learn. I recommend learning daily. Um, and you've got your daily numbers and you hit your daily numbers. And those are your KPIs. And you keep track of how much you're doing every day. Yeah. If you plan and set goals and keep track, you measure your progress, you're going to improve much faster. What gets measured always improves much, much faster. It's the way with everything. This is the way with everything. Yeah. Next thing, passive learning. I know comprehensible input. I know reading is great, crushing, blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. You learn some words, you learn vocabulary eventually, grammar and all that. If you rely on reading and learn with English with stories and dreaming Spanish and all that nonsense, like watch videos, 2,000 hours of watching videos on YouTube, this is going to be, first of all, extremely slow. And second of all, you're only working on your comprehension. Yeah. You need to learn actively. You need active exercises in which you're forcing yourself to use the language, to make mistakes, and get feedback. This is obviously much harder to do. It's more effort, it's more challenging, but you're improving much faster by doing this. And also, not only you're improving faster, you're also troubleshooting your language skills constantly, getting immediate feedback all the time, constant and immediate feedback, and you're improving way faster and better because otherwise you get fossilized mistakes that you might be making forever with no one telling you. All right. So no passive learning. Yeah, some passive learning is okay. Listen to podcasts and all that, but watching tons of videos, waste of time. Next one. Again, not enough feedback. You need feedback. You need constant feedback, ideally immediate feedback. And there are several reasons why. There are several reasons why classes and teachers are not great for this. And the main one being that when you try to speak, you'll be mostly focused on what you're trying to say, and if they interrupt you, you'll get annoyed, and you won't pay much attention to their feedback, and then also the feedback is just there. They just say it. Maybe you try to continue saying whatever you were saying, and you'll forget, and that's how you get. If you've been to any language class, you'll get people who've been for a whole school year making the same mistake in every single class. Yeah. Example: Spanish people will say mountain for mountain. You can correct them every time, and from September till June, every single day, so twice a week or whatever they attending classes. And in June, they'll still be saying mountain because that's the way it is. They don't pay attention to the feedback. Yeah. So feedback needs to be automated, not with a teacher. Also, teachers just give up on feedback after a while because you just keep making the mistake and they'll be like, "Ah, whatever. I don't get paid enough for this." So there's that as well. So you need immediate feedback. That's why ritual practice, flashcards, audio, listening and repeating, that kind of stuff is needed. Again, with the feedback aspect of it, another point against watch a million hours of Spanish, learn English with stories, blah blah blah, all that stuff. It won't point out where you're making your mistakes when you're speaking. In fact, you won't be speaking, and you will not correct your mistakes. Next one size fits all approaches. And again, we go back to the input. Watch the videos, do this, do that. Look, you need a variety, an effective combination of techniques. A language is a system composed of several different skills. Yeah, you need to learn vocab, you need to know grammar, you need to be able to understand language spoken by native speakers in connected speech, fast speech. You need to know the correct pronunciation both for comprehension and for speaking. You need to be able to form sentences fast enough. They're all different skills. They're related, but they're different. And you need specific exercises for each one of them. Yeah, a combination of specific exercises. Otherwise, you'll get decent at some things and you won't improve much at others if you just do one thing. That's why just go out and talk to people, bro. Is a Yeah, it will never make you fluent. Watch 3,000 hours of dreaming Spanish will never make you fluent, etc. You need a complete and a varied method. Yeah, a bunch of different techniques. Next one. Speaking of which, pronunciation, really important. You need to pay attention to pronunciation, not just listening to the language. Yeah, it's not just about watching videos, and in fact, don't watch videos. If you need to listen a lot, but you also need to do specific deliberate practice for pronunciation. Pay close attention to the pronunciation and your own pronunciation, and try to sound as close as possible. If you just listen casually, your comprehension will slowly improve, but you keep making lots of mistakes with your own pronunciation, and your comprehension will improve, but not that much. Yeah, you need deliberate practice as well. And the last one is personalized learning or lack thereof. Again, going back to the one size fits all, they give you a plan, follow the plan, done. And this is good if the techniques in the plan are good, but in order to get good at your own speech, at the things you normally talk about, at the things you do, the interactions you have, you need personalized learning. Yeah. And the options are you either hire someone to practice those specific situations, or you go to those specific situations and you learn by doing, which I don't recommend because you end up using very limited vocabulary, or use language islands. You prepare hundreds or even thousands of sentences for all the conversations you usually have, and you learn them really, really well. This last part is going to improve your speaking skills. If you don't do this, you'll improve with everything else if you do all the right things. But if you don't do this, it will take much longer for you to get good at conversation, at the specific conversations you have, right? And this is the list basically. These are all the mistakes that you might be making. You probably make a lot of them, it's not really your fault because again, school system pushes the methods, the school system, the language apps, and the online gurus are pushing on you. They're forcing you, they're pushing you to make all these mistakes. Yeah. So you didn't know any better. Now you do. So start doing things that actually work, that give you results fast instead of wasting your time. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later.